Logs and other debris typically gather on Lake Cumberland this time of the year, but the issue that brought so many out to the City Council Monday is over an invisible substance people say is hazardous and doesn't need to be treated in Somerset so close to the lake.
To bring it here and dump it into our wastewater treatment plant. And in the recent months, they've ramped up the average daily gallons to right at 100,000 a day.
McShirley says that liquid eventually makes its way into Lake Cumberland, and he fears the health risk of forever chemicals. Somerset's mayor says this practice is not unique to this area.
Glasgow, Georgetown, Maysville, Owensboro, larger markets, Louisville, and nearby states, Knoxville, Nashville.
Keck says Somerset made $500,000 a year in allowing the leachate to be treated there. But after a contentious meeting Monday, the council voted unanimously to end the practice.
I always encourage citizens to show up, share their heart, but the way in which it was done was a little disappointing, but they made their voices heard. The council responded accordingly, and so we're going to have to make some changes.
The standing room only, there were probably 100 people, more or less. Everybody that was there, other than city employees, were against leachate.
Shirley says some of the U.S. government have not responded to their concerns, but believes the EPA will eventually issue new mandates against leachate. He says the substance is similar to what recently led to lawsuits at Camp Lejeune. Keck says that's a terrible comparison.
They dumped leachate there for years. Anybody that lived there that was diagnosed with certain cancers or other illnesses has a claim, and you only had to live there 30 days.
That's insanity, and again, fear-mongering. I don't know who you interviewed, but there's no real comparison. This is the EPA and the State Division of Waters mandated way to treat it.
Keck says problems with treating leachate need to be directed at the state, not at them. In Pulaski County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.